Hello again, everybody, and welcome once again to another episode of the Tigers Baseball Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Schulte. Hopefully the door doesn't open and a 14-year-old doesn't walk through while I'm in the middle of recording this on Sunday, June 22nd, 2025. Congratulations to the Louisiana State University Tigers, your College World Series champions. Cade Anderson is going to be the number one overall pitcher picked. I don't know that he's going to be the number one overall player picked. Jackson Holliday's little brother, Ethan, might have something to say about that. But Washington has a month, well, less than a month now, about 3 weeks to figure that one out. And I'm sure that Mike Rizzo and all the boys over there in Washington will figure something out, and they'll make a pick. They have to, because they got the first overall. So guess what? Neither one of those players are going to make it to the Tigers. That's all I got to say about that. The guys who I would like to see in Tigers uniforms, there's three of them. I don't know if he's I think this guy's a sophomore this year, but there's four of them, actually. I wouldn't mind seeing Jacob Morrison get drafted by the Tigers. He's a big right-handed pitcher he's 6'8", and he throws hard, and he's a fiery competitor. Didn't do too well today, but I think there was something wrong with him. Caden Bodine, he's a catcher for Coastal Carolina. He's thrown out 38% of would-be base stealers this year. That's pretty impressive, especially in college. Chase Shores is a guy, he's a reliever that throws 101 mile-an-hour fastball, but then also has an 88 mile-an-hour slider. And Gage Wood, the pitcher for Arkansas, who threw a no-hitter earlier this week. Those are the four guys that I wouldn't mind seeing in Tigers uniforms. Don't think it's going to happen, but you know what? A guy can dream, and I'm very good at that. So, that's a thing. With that, let's go ahead and look at the injury report. Matt Vierling is still in rehab, still rehabbing his sore shoulder. Reese Olson as well, still rehabbing his sprained right ring, well, not sprained, inflamed right ring finger. No word as to whether or not he threw a changeup in a game yet. Everything else is working just fine for him. All of his other pitches, it's his changeup that is causing him the problem. It's not the changeup itself, it's the grip. It's how he grips his changeup that's causing him to have issues throwing it, because that right ring finger inflammation is causing discomfort as he grips the ball to throw his changeup. So, with all that being said, he has, as a pitcher, you have 30 days in injury rehab. A position player only has 20, but position players can play every day, whereas starters only start every 5 days. So they get up to 6 starts, basically, when it comes to getting that stuff done. And I believe he's had 2 now rehab starts, so he's got some time. Detroit needs him back desperately, but he's got some time. Not sure if we're going to see Alex Cobb anytime at all this year. He's still dealing with issues from his hip inflammation, and this is the same hip that he had surgically repaired in 2023. So who knows how long that's going to take. On to Detroit. Detroit actually went 3-3 this week. They took 2 out of 3 from the Pittsburgh Pirates and then went down to Tampa Bay and got absolutely spanked in 2 of 3, in dropping 2 of 3 with the Tampa Bay Rays. So 3-3 overall for the week. it's a winning week in the sense that they didn't lose anything. They broke even, but you'd like to see more like a 4-2 or a 5-1. I really would have liked to see them sweep the Pirates, but good luck against Paul Skeens. They had a chance. They had it into the 10th inning on Thursday evening in Game 2 of a doubleheader, but they fell short. Pittsburgh scored 4 in the top of the 10th, and Detroit didn't score any in the bottom. So, it's so here's the thing with the Tigers. Right now, and a lot of people were raving about the starting depth that they had because they had Casey Mize and Alex Cobb and Jackson Jobe and Tarek Skubal and Jack Flaherty and Kader Montero and Matt Manning was in the mix, and Brant Herter was throwing well, and Ty Madden and all of these guys. Well, Ty Madden's still on the injured list with a shoulder issue. Alex Cobb never even pitched in spring training for the Tigers, let alone has cracked the big league roster. He's still in AAA doing rehab stuff. Casey Mize has been hurt. He's back, but he spent some time on the injured list. Kader Montero hasn't been Kader Montero. Jack Flaherty hasn't been Jack Flaherty. And Jackson Jobe is out. So, where's Matt Manning? Matt Manning is sitting in AAA doing nothing. He's obviously not pitching very well, because if he was, he'd be in Detroit. Reese Olson hasn't been able to stay healthy. Right now, your rotation is Tarek Skubal, a bullpen day, Jack Flaherty, a bullpen day, and Casey Mize. Now, your bullpen days are looking like Sawyer Gipson-Long and Kader Montero as your bulk guys. But this bullpen isn't the same pen as it was last year. Oh, they've got a lot of the same guys. But where are the innings going to come from to rest these guys? Kader Montero just got optioned back down to AAA. You got Skubal going 6 or 7 a night, sometimes more. So that helps. And why is AJ Hinch all of a sudden using Brant Herter as an opener? Why don't you start Sawyer Gipson-Long for 3 or 4 innings and then bring Brant Herter in? Because clearly he has issues in the first inning. Greg Maddux used to have these problems. Greg Maddux used to have horrible first innings. Not necessarily horrible, but he always had not always, but a lot of times he had a hard time getting through the first inning. And then once he got through the first, it didn't matter because he was just on point. But for whatever reason, if you wanted to get to Greg Maddux, you could do it right off the jump. For whatever reason, you could get to Greg Maddux more often than not in the first inning. And then after that, it was lights out. Before you guys start to think that I'm saying that Brant Herter is Greg Maddux, trust me, I know better. I watched Greg Maddux pitch. I've watched Brant Herter pitch. No similarities. Sorry, not happening. But really, where are the innings coming from to rest these guys? AJ Hinch needs to do two things. He needs to switch Sawyer Gipson-Long and Brant Hurter around. Get SGL out there for 3, maybe 4 innings, and then bring in Hurter. Because, like I said, he seems to thrive in that role more than he does as an opener. And the second thing he needs to do is bite the bullet and come up with another starter. If you got to bring Matt Manning up, bring Matt Manning up. If he gets whacked around up here for 4 or 5 innings, so be it. But it rests your bullpen. He can't do 2 out of 5 days bullpen days. He just can't. Oh, that worked for him last year. That was last year. This year, the pen isn't responding the way they did last year. These guys don't know their roles. They don't know where they're going. They don't know. He's always had a plan for his pitchers. Going into a series, you always heard pitchers say, oh yeah, AJ came to me and said, you're going to be facing this guy, and this guy, so be ready. And it would usually be right before a game. Okay, Brant, you're going to be facing Happ, Tucker, and Suzuki in the 7th. So be ready for those guys, because when they come up, I want you ready. When I need you to come in, no matter what inning it is. These are the guys you're going to face. These are the guys that I'm going to bring you in for. So be ready. Now, he may be doing that again this year, but if he is, he's not doing a very good job of communicating to his pitchers just how ready they need to be. Because the pen is awful. Pen is awful this year. Detroit gave up 25 runs in 3 games to Tampa. 14 on Friday night, 8 yesterday, 3 today. They won today's game 9-3. You would think that if you scored 20 runs in a 3-game series, you'd take 2 out of 3, but you gave up 25. They scored 8 runs on Friday night. 8 runs should normally be enough to win a game. But when Jack Flaherty gives up 7 in the first 3 innings, first 2 1/3 innings. No, actually, he gave up 8 in the first 2 1/3 innings. When Jack Flaherty gives up 8 in the first 2 1/3, and then your pen gives up another 6, that leads to some issues. So I think if anything is going to cost the Tigers the division, it's their bullpen, it's their pitching, and it's the way AJ Hinch is handling his pitching. I think Detroit needs to find 3 things at the trade deadline. They need to find a serviceable starter to bridge between Tarik Skubal and either Tarik Skubal and Jack Flaherty. Hopefully Reese Olson is back by then, so he can do that. Or between Jack Flaherty and Casey Mize. They need to find a serviceable starter. They need to find some swing and miss in the pen. And they need to find a consistent bat. They don't need an aircraft carrier. They don't need a Rafi Devers. They don't need an Alex Bregman. Oh, they'd look a lot better with Alex Bregman at third base. But they don't need that kind of guy. Kyle Tucker, no, they don't need that kind of guy. It would be useful. Every team could use somebody like that. But they don't need that. They just need a professional hitter who's going to stay consistent. Gleyber Torres is good. Gleyber Torres is getting the job done, but they need another voice in that clubhouse because offensively right now, they're struggling as well. And they need another voice in that clubhouse to say, hey guys, it's going to be all right. Let's just get through it. Let's just go out and play hard today and give our best today. and we'll see if things sort themselves out, where they're going to be at the end of the day. Spencer Torkelson is resurgent as he's been. Javi Baez is resurgent as he's been. They can't carry this team. Parker Meadows is starting to come on. Riley Green has 17 homers and close to 60 runs batted in. But he's not that voice in the clubhouse. And that's what they need. So those are the three things that Detroit needs at the trade deadline, and we'll find out how that goes on July 31st or August 1st or whenever it is this year. So with that, I'm going to end this bad boy today. I thank everybody for listening. I thank you all for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Hit that like button like it owed you some money. And encourage your friends to subscribe as well. I will be trying to figure out a way to get this back onto a regular podcast so that people can get it on Apple and Spotify and Google and all those other things. I just haven't had a chance to put time and effort into it. So with that, I'm going to say thank you so much. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can at TB Podcast at tweesecake.social on Mastodon. That's TWEESE cake.social. At Podcast Tigers on Twitter. TigersBaseballPodcast at gmail.com is the world's longest email address, and I'm proud of it. You can get a hold of me there. You can also leave me comments like Jeffrey Rainey did last week, wanting to know what happened to Spencer Turnbull. He's in Toronto now. So there you go. And we had a nice little chat, Jeffrey and I did, about that. So with that, I thank everybody for listening and subscribing. Ring the bell, get the notifications, do all the things. Thanks for listening. Until next week, go Tigers.